watching Suddenly Ducks. I'm Bermuda.
And I'm unprepared, and we're about to play the Sword of Damocles.
Lovely intro, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so last session, which was too long ago, you guys got into some trouble in the ship, decided to bail out, take out all the landers that were inside, and now you want to scrap it, I believe? Hire some people to disassemble the ship for you. And in the meantime, the ship got two messages. One from Dr. Karen from Gunhild, and one from Dr. James Richter, Natasha's creator. That's it so far in the state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you guys want to go to get this crew to disassemble the ship?
They're gonna have to have knowledge of pre-tech, aren't they?
Yes. Mostly they need to have knowledge of ships.
Oh.
How about Gunhild?
It's always a lovely place.
Well, are any of the systems that we're next to capable of that?
Well, they need to know
Let me
pre-tech
check.
stuff, right? Which is like generally tech level 4, and there's only one place for that, right?
Well, there's only one place that has tech level 5 stuff, but that doesn't mean there aren't people at other places that have the skills to take apart tech level 5 stuff. Let's see, what is Kotura?
Some ghosts, apparently.
Yeah, Harriel, you're transmitting.
What?
You're transmitting.
The fuck?
Do you have it on sound activated?
Well, Kotura is a
No.
trade hub. Tech level 4. I mean, it's
It's better
possible.
What's the population there?
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands.
And one jump after that, you have Hustov, which has the Perot Cooperative, and they are very well known for being good at salvaging ships.
Oh, is that so?
Oh yeah,
I think that's
That's
a
why-
strong hint.
that's why Jinhun doesn't even pay that much attention to them, because they're basically scavengers. And Jinhun only makes high quality ships, while the cooperative, makes them a little bit scrappier. They refit a hull here and there, but it's just as good a ship as any. Or you can go to Gunhill, yes.
Let's give Hostov a visit.
Well, one's probably going to get us more money than the others. Because one's probably going to be a little more scavengy, and the other one's going to be a little more real people that are supposed to know about all this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, going to Hustov is going to be 2 jumps, while Kotera and Gunhild it's only 1 jump to get there.
Yeah, the reason I thought we might avoid Gunhild was because of the other stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The terrorist attack.
So, Gunhild?
It's up to
Yes, let's
Phil.
go to Gunhild.
Okay.
All right. It's been a while, so
So, you back into the ship. As you get to the edge of the system, it is the 29th of May. To make a jump, it's 2d6, plus your intelligence bonus, plus your navigation bonus, plus the nav computer bonus, -1,
what's the nav computer bonus?
+2. Okay, from Fromia to Gunhild in 6 days.
Hang on, that should actually be 9. I don't know if that makes any difference, but
Why 9?
because you said -1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it took -2.
Oh, okay. But you still make it, don't
Yeah.
worry. So yeah, you get to the edge of Gunhild, and it is the 5th
June.
June. Yes, thank you.
And we are out of fuel.
I'm pretty sure Gunhild has a refueling station.
Several. Like, there's ships coming and going to Gunhild all the time, so yes.
Any refueling stations offer happy endings?
I don't know, it depends on the refueling station you go to.
Do you want fuel all over the ship?
It'll help it slip through the wormholes a little easier, won't it?
Or leave the machine spirit?
So 2 more days you get to Gunhild's orbit. So in those 4 days of travel, do you guys do anything out of the ordinary? Discuss what's happening in Gunhild maybe? Or just go there, get the crew, and get out? All business.
Mapachine always hates coming back to Gunhild, so she's, keeping it strictly business. But I suppose we should pay Dr. Karen a visit while we're here.
You do have her new coordinates, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys go to Dr. Karen then?
Yes.
Okay. You're going in the lander, I believe. To land on Gunhill. This time, and the place you're going to be is going to be 500 for the lander.
Okay.
So who's going down?
Well, I am.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Mapachine pushes Leech.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Okay.
And so will I.
Everyone goes.
Yay.
Yeah.
And while there, Natasha's going to buy some spare parts to repair the damage she took.
Yeah. Is there any way I could buy like some equipment for my workshop?
What kind of equipment are we talking about?
I was thinking like materials for making explosives, and also like restock my my workshop since like last time.
What kind of explosives are we talking about?
I'm not really sure.
Is it like a plasma explosive? Because that's expensive as shit.
Oh no, just like a C4 or normal explosives.
Well,
Not like
that
a
stuff is
plasma.
that stuff is highly controlled.
Ah, okay.
So unless you want to give the government your info,
No. I buy some more hologram shit.
okay. How much did we say cost you last time? I think it was 700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I also like buy some I don't know, materials for making armor?
Making armor.
Yeah. Or like I want to make like exoskeleton, so he's like because he's really weak and he wants to be able to do stuff.
I think those are called mechs.
You
Yeah,
can
but
buy a
not
mech.
not really a mech, just like for helping his limbs to carry stuff.
Or you can go to the new arsenal in the forums and get the muscle replacement augmentation for 20,000
Oh.
credits.
Oh.
It sets your strength modifier at +2, so you'll be strong as shit.
What was that? 20,000?
Yes, 20,000.
Yeah, I have some credits. Was there
Also,
anything we wanted to buy, guys? Like a crew?
Like a doctor?
you already have a doctor. Unless you want a biopsionics person on the ship.
No, we don't particularly care about that.
Psychic.
Well, I guess you can go on with like meeting the guy, and I'll look up what I want to buy.
Okay. Meeting the guy. It's a
Girl.
Okay, so you get to Dr. Karen's address. This building looks to be way newer than the one before. Very clearly an upgrade. At the door, you walk in, no questions asked, and then inside, a couple of guards, look you guys over. They already know you. You already know them, by seeing them running around the old facility. They allow you inside, and you go down under the ground, like before as well. Inside, you see a small lab, smaller than the one before, with a lot less people, because a lot of people died in the attack. It's basically one giant open room, and you see Dr. Karen standing by a terminal, doing something, tapping around. And she doesn't seem to notice you right now. She seems to be very busy with something.
Okay, shall we get her attention? Let's go up and find out what she wants, what she's doing.
Yeah, I'll drop a stun grenade into the room.
Roll to hit. So, yeah, if you work to get the doctor's attention, eventually you get it. And yeah, she looks
Whistle
up.
at her.
Yeah, she looks up. Leech, what do I owe the pleasure?
We're in the neighborhood. Figured we'd stop by.
How nice of you. But I believe your visits don't come without you needing something.
Leech looks at the rest of the group. Do we need something?
No, believe it or not, Dr. Karen, we are just checking in on you, and we're concerned after what we've heard in the news. So
Remarkable. Human beings. Wow.
yeah, mark this day on the calendar.
I shall. Well, besides the staff cut, I am doing well. The people I've taken from the cryopods are doing well. At least the ones that survived. Not much information from them, I'm afraid. Though they kept going about some person named Natasha. Though none of the cryopods that you've brought me have such identification or someone inside them.
Maybe
Do you know
we
anything
missed one.
about this?
Maybe we
Yes,
simply
maybe we
missed a
did.
pod.
Either
Okay,
that or
then.
it went missing in the few 100 years which it was floating around.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
the
ship
people
that
that were
we
on board when we got there had already been taken.
exactly the ship that we pulled these pods off of wasn't exactly to factory specs. It had been drifting through a system with no real technology for countless years, and some sort of primitive culture had formed on it. Who knows who had scavenged it previously?
True. Is anything else that you want? If you want to know about the people, uh, they're not much to speak of, I'm afraid. The ship's captain is among the living, along with two helmsmen and their chief security officer. No one that would, what's the word? Fuck. That would match to your expectations of tech development.
How are they adjusting to life in the future?
Very well, though well, they are in Gunhild, so this would be the closest they have to their level of technology. So, yes, they are dealing well with the loss of their mandate, though some have taken to heavy drinking to
I
cope.
see.
What else? Amongst the crew that died, I'm afraid the most useful ones would be the chief engineer as well as the chief medical officer. They were amongst the cryopod crew. They,
Well,
well, they would be the ones to speak of technology,
so
I
who
would
did
say.
live?
The captain, two helmsmen, and the chief security officer. The people that died were the medical officer, two security staffs, and the chief engineer.
Would we be able to talk to them, potentially alone at some point?
If you wish, yes. Though I don't know what kind of information you could ascertain from them. But
Well, you
you
said
are
the
free to do
captain
as
of
you
the ship.
please.
You said the
Yes.
captain of the ship survived. Clearly, certainly he must be aware of other sectors and other systems. I mean, he was captaining a vessel of that magnitude.
Perhaps I did not speak with him that much. The moment he awoke 2 days later, we were attacked, I'm afraid. Not much time to chit-chat.
But yeah, if he has knowledge of other, destinations and where they're located out there in space, it could be very valuable.
Malpachine adds that she's just personally interested in speaking with someone from the past. And when do you get an opportunity like this?
Yes. Well,
Exactly.
you may do as you please. I have an open door for you, as always. If you do have anything of interest, scientific interest, do bring it along.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you guys want to go talk to the captain, you're free to. Otherwise, we can probably move on to you hiring the salvaging crew.
Yes, let us go speak to the crew.
Okay, let me check the price of hiring people. So here we go. So you want, basically what you want is a pre-tech technician. How many do you want to bring along?
Is that
Well,
all
how
we
many do you
need?
think
Is
it'll take to...
Yeah, we only need a pre-tech technician to take this apart. There's no other skills that are important.
The employees tab says technician, pre-tech, technician, post-tech, psychic, prostitute, lawyer, guard, doctor, computer programmer,
Prostitute.
artist. Yes, prostitute.
We'll
Wow.
hire one for the ship.
Break time, everyone.
And then they have levels of how much you can pay for them. The cheapest one, they have skill level 0. Middle one, skill level 1. And then the most skillful, will be the most expensive, of course. They'll be at skill level 2.
How big was the ship we found Natasha on? About comparable
Natasha
size.
was in a cruiser, I believe.
Was it comparable size? Or is this thing much larger?
Way larger.
This is.
The ship you were on is way larger. Is sized like a capital ship.
Oh, right, okay. So, what was the crew size that were brought along to take apart the one Natasha was on?
You didn't, I believe.
No, but I mean, we got a bunch of people to
You
do
did it.
that.
You took this stuff by yourselves.
Yeah, but then we said we like sold the salvaging rights to some people or something, right?
No, you didn't.
I don't remember.
Oh,
It was a
never
long
mind
time
then.
ago.
I don't think you
we
did.
did.
I think you decided like, screw the, the tons we have and just take the fittings and just leave
Okay.
the ship. I think that was what you
Well,
guys
then,
went along with.
I'm not a salvage expert. I don't know how many crew to bring along on this thing.
Well, if you bring along one guy, it's going to take a long ass time.
All right, here's a question: how much does the guy cost?
If Level 0, it's going to be 50 a day. Level 1, it's going to be 100 a day. Level 2 is going to be 500 a day.
Wait, how much for level 1?
100.
And these guys can like do assist rolls to assist each other?
Yeah, they would be able to assist each other.
Could,
So why don't we bring like one 100 a day or one 500 a day, and then a whole bunch of 50 a days to assist him?
could I roll to see how many we need with like tech astronautic?
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
Like Leech's idea.
5. To strip
Um,
a ship that size, you need 500 people with what you got.
Show us what
To
you
strip
got.
it in,
Should I
in how much
re-roll?
time?
And a month.
Should I re-roll?
Yeah, you rolled pretty low.
What if I roll shit on navigation later?
That's
Don't
a
bother
possibility.
re-rolling. 5. I mean, it's a capital ship.
Yeah.
It like, even if your number's slightly off, we've just brought 500 people to do something.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I was just
they're going
meaning
to
like
bring.
a
They're going to
ballpark
bring their
number.
own ships. They'll be bringing their own ships along.
So how do assists work mechanically?
The assistant rolls if they get, I think it's like 7 or higher. The assistee gets a +1.
Okay, so can unlimited people assist and grant a +1? Is it limited to one person?
No,
If that
it's
person fails,
limited.
can someone else attempt to assist?
No.
Okay,
If the
so
assist
one
fails,
person can make one assist and that's it.
yeah.
So we should hire one assistant because there will be no point in having multiple people assisting. And we should have one assistant and one guy who's good. Probably the cheapest way would be level 1 guy with a level 0 guy assisting him. And 2/3 of the time he'll act as if he's a level 2 guy.
Makes sense to me.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's get to this then. How do we find these people?
Oh, you can just find them. The business of salvaging ships is very thriving. And new salvaging business are opening now that the war on Gunhild has been declared by the Tuscana Republic. So people know there's going to be ship graveyards around to salvage. So yeah,
Well,
it's pretty easy.
that is a spot of luck.
Do we pay them for travel time as well?
Oh yeah.
And they travel with their own ships?
It depends on how many people you want to bring along. If it's only 2, they can go in your ship, no problem. But if you want to bring 10, they would have their own ship. It's a matter of scaling, basically.
Okay, and the travel time to and back is 2 weeks, thereabout?
On a Spike 2, it's 6 days going, 6 days coming.
No,
Plus,
so 2 weeks.
getting to edges of systems.
So it's 2,100 plus 150 per day per crew of 2 people.
But we're taking 500 people.
You want to take 500 people?
Is this not what you said, Harry?
That's what I said, yes, on Chris's roll of a 5.
Right.
If we want to take the
Okay,
whole
I
ship
understand.
apart in a month. But we don't need to take the whole ship apart.
Only key sections.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Let's just bring like 10 or something then. With the 2 being the first and second best people we can get, and then
But we could bring
a bunch
5
of noobs.
teams of those 2 guys, basically.
Oh. Yeah, let's do that.
So that'll be 10,500 for travel time. And 750 a day in costs.
Okay, so how many people are you bringing along again?
10.
How many level ones?
5 with 1 in the skill, and 5 assistants with 0 in the skill.
Okay.
And they're going to work in 2-man teams, because that's how the assist rules work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I believe this would make more sense in the orbital station of Gunhild. So yeah, basically you put up kind of an ad, and this team of salvagers answers to it. Their frontman is going to be, what's your name? The frontman is going to be Alan.
Okay. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the ship.
So yeah, Alan, goes up to you guys and introduces himself, and then introduces
Hello, Mr. Rickman.
A bunch of red shirts. And he says, "Hello, Mr. Isfield, I believe."
Hello, Mr. Rickman.
Rickman? Okay, that's a joke. Okay, that's
it's
a
his last
reference
name.
to something I don't know.
Alan Rickman. He's a actor. Played Snape in the Harry Potter films. Obviously, Potter.
I don't know how to do his accent. Otherwise, I would.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
Spoilers!
No. Unfollow.
So yeah, he meets up with you, and his quote unquote office, which would be his ship. Invites you in. It is a frigate like yours, though not so military. Only has a laser, a little laser beam on top of it.
This is a pretty nice ship, but I have to say, you could really use a new cargo lighter.
Yes, we do in fact have multiple cargo lighters if you're interested in the market.
He looks, and says, we don't have the need for cargo lighters right now. The ship has enough room by itself. So yeah, he sits down, invites you guys to sit down, and he asks, "So, what is the job we're looking at, and where are we going?"
Well, there's a nearby planet, a very short jump away, and we found a very large pretext ship.
Large? How large?
Have you ever heard of the class called a capital ship?
He points to the wall behind him and says, "There's a fleet of them floating around Gunhild."
Good. You have heard of them. Well, we found one of those,
Yes.
And we would like you to take it apart. At least
Uh,
some key structures of it, anyway.
Ah, I see. Taking apart something that large would take a lot more people, I must admit. It would take quite a while as well. But if we are talking about key structures, then yes, that is possible. What key structures are we talking of?
I believe Leech knows a little more about this than I.
Yeah, so obviously we'd be looking to pull the main nav computer. It also has a pretty substantial reactor, which would be nice to disassemble. Obviously, any drives that we could pull. Plus, we haven't been able to check to see exactly all of the systems that it has, but, depending on what specific systems it's loaded out, there'd be other things we'd be interested in grabbing, obviously, like any sort of. So the ship itself appears to be pre-tech, so obviously any sort of like advanced med bays, advanced fuel systems, advanced hydroponic systems, really anything of value. We're in a similar business. You and I, we scavenge and sell stuff.
Yes, I see. Well, that is already some information I can use to prepare myself and my crew. The reactor would take some specialized vac suits, which we have. So that is good to know.
Also, it's worth noting that we have some excess salvage materials that we've already collected, and rather than sell them, we would be willing to impart them onto you at a significant savings on your end, if you would be interested in that. So, say 25 cents on the dollar.
What kind of salvage are we talking about?
We have an entire fleet of perfectly functioning cargo lighters.
How many are we talking of?
Oh, half a dozen, quite a few.
All from that pre-tech ship.
These are not pre-tech cargo lighters. These are your standard, top of the line, modern day cargo lighters, but at only 8,000 new or what is the credits? 8,000 credits. Yeah, a piece. They are a steal that just, they're not going to last long. I can tell you that much for sure.
Well, you bring me to those lighters. Me and my crew will inspect their quality, and maybe we can work out a deal. But for now, let's go to the main event. Do you have blueprints of this ship that I can analyze on the trip to the place, to the planet?
We have lots of recordings of the interior. I'm not sure if we pulled an actual schematic.
I think we do. I think we were given a schematic.
You were given a schematic. So you give him the schematic and the recordings?
Yeah.
Are the fights in the recordings, by the way?
We would edit that out, of course. We'd also edit out any information that shows him where it is at all, so he doesn't even know what system it's in. And they won't know until we've already signed a contract with them with a non-compete clause and everything else.
Yeah, so he looks at it and says that this is a very, very large ship. Well, I have worked on a few of these, most notably on car dice. I think me and my crew can do it. Yes, this could be possible. What system are we talking about? I do need information to fuel up.
It's nearby.
You'll receive all the relevant coordinates once we've signed a contract. Should only be for our ship. It's only one jump, so I'm sure you guys will be able to make it in one.
Very well then. Let's go over the contract then.
I think I have business on Leech, so he'd know how to make up a contract.
Yeah.
I think Mapachin, do you have business too?
Oh, hell no.
Do you want something specific from this contract?
The contract would outline the work that they're going to do for us, the payments that we're going to make for them, and obviously stipulations that they're not going to provide any information that we've provided them to any third parties, and they will agree to no potential claims in the future over the space unless imparted from us onto them for no less than so many years, blah, blah, blah. It's a non-complete, non-disclosure contract, standard.
An NDA.
Yep, standard contract when two, parties get together.
Yeah. He looks it over, nods to himself and says, yeah, this is rather standard for people that find ships out there. I am familiar with the wording.
And in the middle of the contract, it says that no brown M&Ms shall be allowed on the ship. And if we see any brown M&Ms, we fire them.
He skims over that part. You notice that he just, flips the page where that specific clause is. And you grin to yourself.
There was a famous band that used to do that because setting up their shows was super dangerous, and they knew that if people didn't read the entire contract, it wasn't safe to have them on. So in the middle of the 200-page contract, there would be a thing that says no brown M&Ms in the dressing room. So they could just walk into the dressing room, look for the brown M&Ms, and if they saw them, they knew they had to fire the guys, and if they didn't see them, they knew they were on point.
Nice.
The other thing we could do is totally get very close to the end of the job, and then put some brown M&Ms somewhere on board the ship and say, sorry, you're fired, we can't be bothered to pay you.
Yeah, they don't get paid.
What a bunch of dicks. Yeah, he signs the contract, no problem. He's seen his fair share of NDAs, especially on ships this size. So yeah, once he signs it up, you have a copy, he has a copy, and he asks, which system now?
Also, just to be clear, Harriel, there is obviously language in there that talks about how space travel is dangerous, and you acknowledge that there is always risk anytime you go anywhere in space. The crew of the Damocles shall be responsible for security on this mission, but will not be held responsible for anyone injured by any, and then it lists everything that could hurt you in space, including the sorts of things that we saw on the ship.
Augmented monsters.
Space madness, space herpes, space AIDS.
Peanuts.
Just a big long list.
The space Nazis.
Sure.
Specifically, Space Hitler is subtitled under that.
Oh yeah, he looks at the subtitled Space Hitler and says, "You are on point with your contract writing, sir."
We did have an Aryan on board the ship earlier.
We've established that's Orion.
Oh yes.
I don't know. They were Italian.
Yeah, so what? And you deal with space Germans a lot. Deal with it.
Did Germany win the war in this universe?
Yeah.
We're
all
they
Japanese
won
people.
against Duibos.
That would explain Space Hitler.
Well, if you consider, what's his name, the Kaiser, Space Hitler, you can consider him Space Hitler. A lot of people do say that he's going to crush the Republic.
Okay,
So,
well, now we've
yeah.
got that out of the way. Have you any other questions?
Yes, the system where the ship is located.
What about it?
He wants to know.
He needs to know it.
So we signed it.
Yes.
Then we tell him.
From you. Yeah. He's like, yeah, okay. But he like frowns for a bit and says, "Where did you find that ship?"
On Fromia. It's landed, so to speak.
Oh.
So we don't have to worry about null gravity. It'll make things much easier for you.
Yeah. So, yeah, he agrees to the contract. He's fine with the location. He's a bit amazed that there's a capital ship landed on Fromia, but, you know, weirder things have happened in space. So, yeah. Pilot, make your jump.
Oh shit!
We need to refuel before we do that.
Yeah, I imagine that's $800 from me then.
Yep.
I'll just pay that.
Boom.
Okay, you crush it. So it is the 15th of June when you arrive at the edge of Fromia. And they arrive just in time as well. During those 6 days, anything you guys do in the ship?
I go to speak to Natasha and find out what her opinion on everything that's going on is.
What specifically? Everything like in Gun Hill, then the message from her father?
I was meaning more the ship that we're now just going to be taking apart, and the fact that there's two AIs. I think both of them are probably like
Evil.
unbroken. What her opinion on those are?
I would say, Captain, that we'd be best leaving that ship alone. They are at the dangerous balance, but a balance nonetheless. Xavier seems to try and conquer the whole ship, while the other one keeps him from taking the ship, while wanting the ship for himself. So, honestly, I would say leave it alone.
Well, as you can see, we've taken a course of action, which means that we're going to be taking it apart. Have you any advice?
Don't get killed.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. We have no other objections to it, though?
No, not really. I am not sympathetic to those AIs.
Race
And if we
trader.
had to kill them, would you mind?
They seem to be more dangerous on the loose than anything I've ever met, barring some people. So, yes, I would be fine with killing them.
Would you actually prefer that they were killed rather than left alone?
If it is possible to kill them while not risking our lives, yes.
I'm glad we share the same standpoint, Natasha. You make me very pleased with your foresight.
course, Captain. Always good to be of assistance. Is there anything else?
Stay safe, Natasha. Please bring anything to my attention if you have any ideas.
Well, my current thought is to go to Nereides. After this, of course.
I'll take it into consideration.
Okay. Raylan, by now you should be at full HP. By the way. Yeah, and Natasha locks herself in her room for 2 days straight. Anything else? No? Okay. So you get to the edge of Fromia in 6 days. 2 more days you are on Fromia itself. It is the 17th. It's been 10 days since you've hired Alan's crew.
Excellent. I hope they enjoyed the traveling.
Alan says, spar for the course. I do have a professional pilot.
Obviously.
So you bring him to the ship?
Yes. I think before we enter, we should tell them repeatedly the fact that we are going to be coming as security, just in case the ship isn't exactly perfectly safe.
He says, I have read the contract, Mr. Eastfield, and though I believe you have explored the ship, I am fine with this.
Excellent. Keep in constant communication with us if you ever go off alone.
So yeah, you guys go down in the lander. Alan's crew bring down the whole ship to the surface. And yeah, you are in front of the hole in the ground that you've made with a plasma charge. He looks down at it and says, you made this?
Yes, we had to get out. When we got on board, there was some form of security measure that stopped us getting out, so this is our doing, yes.
Plasma charge. Nice.
Yeah, there's an artificial or a virtual intelligence that's has control over the ship. So in order to
People's eyes go immediately wide as plates.
in order to secure our exit, we had to destroy the thing.
They're like an AI in the ship.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you think controls pre-tech ships? You guys are the pre-tech people, and you see Leech is just like rubbing his forehead like, jeez.
I have disassembled my fair share of pre-tech ships. Not all of them have AIs in them, okay? There's only 3 registered AIs in the whole sector, and they are all under lock and key.
As well, I've been on a number of pre-tech ships, and so far the AIs on them outnumber the pre-tech ships, so I'm going to just disagree with you, sir. But as you can see in your contract, space AIs are clearly listed under one of the possible threats.
He's like, Have you
It's
made
right under Space
contact with
Hitler.
this?
Yes.
This thing?
He's a fucking hologram.
Also, I don't know if it's an AI. It could just be a virtual intelligence.
Yes, yes. Do not worry, we're here to protect you, as we said.
Like, yeah, fine. Just no more surprises, please. Surprises get people killed.
Well, I heard it was one of your birthdays, and I kind of set up a party, but if you think it'll probably kill you, I'll hold off.
See Raylan go really sad, just looking down. There's no party.
Don't worry, Raylan. We'll have a party when we get back on board the ship, just for you.
Okay, so yeah, he says, anyway, let's get on with this. Daylight's wasting. And he and his crew start floating down to what once was the lander hangar. And you guys go down by rope, I believe.
Mampachin does so in style.
Well, of course. How else would you do it?
She repels down Australian style, which is face first.
Raylan holds very tightly to the rope.
Okay. And Natasha goes down last. Yeah, you guys are in the hangar. It is deadly quiet inside. And he says, we're first. Ellen says, we're first.
Well, I guess it makes the most sense to start at the reactor, right? Because if we can take that offline, it'll remove the virtual intelligence access to the ship systems for the most part.
That does seem like quite the idea. Unless you think that taking the power off would make it harder for you to access other systems. You see, you're the salvage experts here.
Depends on what kind of security this ship has. Some of the ships I've worked on had some form of security where everything locks down when the power goes out. It wouldn't surprise me if this happens here. Also, some automated defenses stay on. They have their own power sources. About these AI, I really don't give a shit as long as it doesn't have a body or something to come and kill us.
Indeed. There is, however, a second intelligence that has a body on board the ship, and it's I believe held in one location, so do not need to worry.
Alan just face palms the fuck out of his face.
I offer him a swig of my bottle.
He takes it. Then he almost vomits because it's disgusting.
Yeah, and it's really fucking strong.
You're like, ugh.
So if they haven't noticed, we're all in like force fields with spike throwers. And Leech is like, make sure you guys stay inside of the security perimeter.
And hold hands.
Alan just mumbles something to himself. His crew is like, we're fucking dead. They're like whispering, we're fucking dead. Fuck this. Why did I join this crew? What the fuck?
I offer him a second swig.
The crew, Alan's crew, just goes up to you to drink.
Mampachin steps in and says like, hey, we need everybody to stay sharp.
What? It's a party.
After we finish the work.
Oh, okay. Raylan still drinks himself.
As usual.